Hey guys, so today's video, I don't really know how to make, but it is something I really, really want to talk about, and it is my end of year last year, really. More specifically, I keep getting asked like, where are you? Where did you go? Because I took 2 months off social media, basically. I took a full month off social media. I took a month of weaning away and then a whole month off. Why did I do this? I didn't have a choice. To be honest, I'm not going to beat around the bush here. I basically had a mental breakdown by December. But that sounds really negative, and it was obviously a really not fun experience for me, but it was absolutely everything that I needed, because otherwise I would not have gone away and got the help that I needed to get. I would have just done what I always do and just put some masking tape on and hope that everyone just kind of stays fine, even though it's not. This mental breakdown was like 8 years in the making, maybe 10 years in the making. So it wasn't just last year. However, last year was my tipping point, to be honest, because I was like, by January, I was like, what the hell happened? Like, how did I get so bad? And then I think about my year. And though I had an absolutely amazing year, like, there was so many great things, but it was like an emotional roller coaster, but such is life. But there were some things that really didn't help. Like, when I look back, I spent like the first 2 months of January bedridden, couldn't walk, could barely walk 100 meters to the train station. Like, my joints were swollen. I was getting all these infections, and I was working through it. Like, I had so many things I needed to do. I couldn't just, lie in bed and be ill. I just powered through, and some days were better than others. Whatever. I ended up a few months later, months later, having to go to like a dietitian to like figure out what had actually happened. But basically, it was just like I was just stressed, so stressed to the point my body wasn't even digesting food properly. And like that's why I was getting all these infections, because I was in a permanent state of fight or flight, because I was just so stressed. Little things like my phone email thing going off like would set my anxiety rates so high. It was bizarre, and it was not necessary at all. From the outside though, looked from the outside I looked like I had everything under control. I had friends, I had like a social life, I had a dating life, I was making content, I was making music, I was doing all these things that I would expect from myself in my 20s, Like, I felt like I was owning it. And what actually had happened, it's not silly because it's really serious, but what had happened was I had dissociated from everything. I can't really explain dissociation, to be honest, but I'll say this little anecdote that might explain what it is. So one day I woke up and was like, I need to do my groceries today, because if I don't do my groceries, I don't have my lunch and I won't have time. All these scheduling things. I was like, right, gotta do my groceries. Got out of bed, went straight to the grocery store, got all the things that I needed to get, and I came back. And when I went to offload my groceries, I realised I'd already done the grocery shop the day before, but I'd forgotten. And not like just casually forgot. I mean, I had no recollection of it. It wasn't until I seen the receipt and was like, I did that yesterday at 4 o'clock. So I had completely dissociated. That was a really weird example, but it was happening all the time. I had no memory, I had no recollection of things. Like, I felt like I was watching my life on a movie screen. I wasn't a part of it. It was not fun. Like, and I wasn't mad about it either. This is why I didn't get help for it, because I was able to be productive for a few months with it, because I was like, who needs feelings, man? I'm getting so much done because I'm not crying or not getting upset or whatever. And it wasn't until like, I couldn't write anymore and I couldn't access that part of my brain that is creative. I I'd gone away from it. I couldn't even reach that, and that's when I knew I needed to get help, you know. Also, a lot of other things made me realize that I needed to get help. Like, old demons came to the surface, and were making my life hell, to be honest. And I will talk about that later on this year. Don't worry. I'll tell you all about the traumas and weird things that I've gone through in my life that have made me the way I am. Because I realized that that's a very big part of my story, and I want to share it with you guys. But it's not for this video. It's for a different video. Don't worry. But by December, I was really, really I was half a human being. I was just not there at all. But I didn't really realize it until it got to January. And I was like, great, I'm going to be starting work soon. All right. And I just couldn't. I can't explain it. I can't explain the level of I can't. I'd never had it before. Like, wherever, like, I was waking up and I was being eaten alive by this concept of living. Like, waking up every day for the rest of my life just tired me to the point where I couldn't move anymore. And basically I ended up flying home because I'd come back to England ready to start work. I flew home. I went and I cleared out my savings, and I even borrowed money from family so that I could, for the first time in my life, do all of the things that specialists had told me to do throughout my life, but I ignored. So I called my team. I said, I can't do it for a whole month. I am not going to be on email, on the phone. I'm giving my phone to my mum, so I'm not going to have it. I'll call you if I get access to a landline or anything like that. I'm just not going to be online for a month. And fair play to everybody I told. They were like, no, go away, do that, it's fine, look after yourself, etc., etc. So I took that money and I got so many things that not physical things, I booked in appointments with, I got a therapist, I got a psychologist, I got a psychiatrist, I went to CBT. So I did all these different forms of therapies, both individual and grouped, with people going through similar stuff. And I really had to dig deep and try and figure out what was going on. And I uncovered a lot of things that I thought I was over, but I obviously wasn't. I've dealt really well with them now, though. And also I did like really fun things as well. Like, something I was always told to do and never did was meditation. And I was like, I will. And I never did it. And for the first time in my life, I made myself at least 5 times a week get up and do some meditation. And it was amazing. What I found actually more useful than meditation, funny enough, was yoga. So I started doing yoga as well. Woo! I did yoga for the whole month. It was amazing. I find it very useful because it's like the movement of it and the breathing. It gave me like this amazing headspace. Also just praying. I mentioned briefly in videos that like I do believe in God, and I function better as a human being when I am spiritually connected. That's just something that I have. Is not necessary for anybody else, but it's just part of my story where I just tried to rediscover God again. And it was so beneficial, so beneficial. And like along with that, I started drawing. I can't draw. I started drawing again though, like a child. I started writing everything. Like, I went through an A4 notepad of just writing anything that came to my head, read it down. If it was a horrible memory I had, I wrote it down. If it was a poem, I wrote it down. Like anything, absolutely anything. And that was really, really therapeutic for me. And what else did I do? I did loads of stuff. I was around horses, which if you know me, you know I was that crazy horse girl in school. So being around horses does really, really make me happy. So I made sure to put that as part of my month. And animals in general was really cool. And drums, like I played the drums. If you know me, you know that I played drums as a teenager, and that's how I got into singing. But it used to make me really happy, so I figured that if I was going to take a month to be happy, I may as well add a little bit of drums in there as well. So I did all these things almost every day for a month. I did all the things that made me happy, and obviously pushed myself to uncomfortable places with all of the therapy. And I'm definitely getting answers with things that have been going on in my mind for a long time. But it's very, very good. It's very, very exciting in the oddest way possible to like be unraveling these weird parts of your brain. I'm just so happy I could cry. It really is proof that like sometimes you really do have to go to that dark place to finally get some help. And I did, and I feel amazing, and I'm very, very grateful to all of the people who made it possible. It was obviously a horrible feeling to have to go and take out all of the money that I've earned over the past couple of years. It's not a lot, it was a very modest amount of money, but it was my savings for a mortgage, because obviously someday I like to get a house, and I'm single as hell, so I'm going to have to lay a deposit down myself, so I was saving. That sucked. It sucked having to ask for money whenever, you know, I realised that if I wanted to do it for a month, I would need more money. It was not fun, but it was so worth it, because you can't have a mortgage on a house if you're not there to appreciate it. And to be honest, that is the place where I got to. I did not see a future for myself, and that scared me. So I went and I got help for it, which I 10 out of 10 recommend doing if you need help. Go talk about it. And that brings me on to like a separate point as well. Like I was trying to be all of the people to everyone. I was spreading myself so thin that I had nothing left for myself. Like be it in my interpersonal relationships, like trying to help everybody, trying to be other people's shoulder to cry on, but never ever looking at myself. I was taking on way too many commitments like that. You know, that was not a good thing. People were coming to me for things that they should have been telling therapists, and that's not okay. Like and it's been online as well. Like I have always tried to help as many of you guys as I possibly can, but we have to realize that I am only a human being, and I am only here trying my best, and I am not a professional, and I cannot help you the way you might need to be helped. And I'm sorry, because I have to look after myself first now. To look after me means I can be a better me for you guys and do more. And that's what I intend to do, because this year I am genuinely excited to get my head back into making content, because contrary to what you may believe, I genuinely enjoy this a lot. I enjoy making videos. I enjoy being a content creator as well as an artist. And we all know I enjoy being an artist. That's a given. Like, it's my dream. But I enjoy doing both of those things. And I never thought I'd be a content creator, but here I am. I enjoy it. And this is a part of my therapy, is talking to you guys. So, you know, I'm excited. I'm excited to let you guys know more about me this year. To lay myself bare, if you will, just so you can get to know the shadow sides of my brain, because they exist. And I want to talk about them. And I always have wanted to talk about them. So I'm gonna. So, yeah. That all led to me taking that little month off. And it was a very beneficial month. Funny things, like I wouldn't hang out with someone if they had their phone, which sounds mental. But it was so amazing to sit in a room with people and talk to people when there's no devices or television or radio was phenomenal. I felt like for the first time in years I was actually connecting with human beings. So it's something I highly recommend to try. Like turn off your TV, turn off your radio, turn off your phones, and sit with each other and chat. Like I played a lot of board games in my month, because you know you you have to occupy yourself. But it was so rewarding, and I'm very excited to jumpstart this year now. A little bit late to the party. I missed the whole New Year, New Me thing. But I was doing it. I was living that. I was living the New Year, New Me. Yeah. Sorry for rambling. It's been a little bit of a random video, but I wanted to have this as more of a conversation than anything. So I hope you enjoyed it. And yeah. All right. I hope you're having a happy, happy day, friend, and that the world is treating you the way you deserve. All right. Bye.